So like the abruptness of that is just traumatizing.
It didn't even end on like a full note. It's just cut in half.
Done. No, there is no outro. We are the outro.
Here, I gotta write that down. I'm gonna fix that before next week.
Shit. All right. So hey, episode 6 of Lightning for Liberty. Holy shit. We've made it halfway to 10. We're over the hump.
Tim said at SRF that he has found statistics that if we make it to episode 21, we're in the top 1% of all podcasts ever made.
Dude, I just did episode 20 of my podcast before this episode.
One more.
I got one more to go. You
one
think
more.
I can one more before I get killed by deer season? One more.
Yep, one more, and you're in the top 1% of podcasts ever made.
Woo, that's insane. But well, anyway, we were going to talk today about last week we talked about content creators and Lightning and ways you can like offer that stuff to the audience. Today we were going to kind of talk about like from the consumer side, like people who listen and watch and consume this content. You want to support creators. What are some ways you can kind of do that? And, what's things you should look at from that end?
Yeah, and we're both creators. We are in a bunch of podcasts with creators, but we're also consumers. So we do.
I think most creators are too. So it kind of applies to everybody.
Yeah, and knowing how your audience is able to provide value to you for the value you give them, it makes it easier for you to target and get into those areas and promote those areas where there is that option, instead of using YouTube monetization. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you can monetize YouTube, fucking monetize YouTube and get it.
Do it. If you can do it, yeah.
But they take 30%. So if I can push people to where
there are better ways to monetize and you don't take advantage of those ways, you probably hate money.
Yeah. You hate 30%.
Exactly.
So
if somebody showed up at the gas pump and said, "Look, I'll pump gas into your tank for you, but I'm going to charge you 30% of your bill," you'd be like, "Get the fuck out of the way." But people look at like YouTube and things like that, and they're like, "Yeah, well, that's their cut." No, you can do this yourself too.
Well, right, and then beyond that, even going further, content creation is what it is, but a lot of us also sell products, and the content creation is a funnel to a product. And if you're using payment processors, the same thing. They take their VIG. Everybody takes their VIG, which, I mean, I get it. I understand that businesses operate to make money. PayPal doesn't sit there and go, we're going to just do this out of the goodness of our heart. But I'll tell you one thing, Lightning does.
Exactly, because it's a fucking computer program. It's a language.
Doesn't have to pay anybody. Well, it pays the nodes a little bit, but...
Yeah, but still, it's
little.
But yeah, no, I mean it's one of those interesting things where the more people we bring into it, the more people who are using it, the more it benefits everybody else. The more content creators who are using it, the more people who are being drawn to support their creators with it. And the beautiful thing about it is it's not part of the central banking system. The reason that we're so used to seeing, we're so normalized to this idea of big cuts of our money being taxed from us, just for the ability to, share that value. Somebody wants their cut. We're conditioned to that being the way that things are between the government, between the central banks. This enables us to be able to do it directly consumer to consumer. And there may be fees, but they're so minimal, and it's just keep the network operating.
Right. And I'm old enough that I've watched this all develop as far as I mean internet. Back
in the olden days.
Well, and I remember a long time ago, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, like since I was 4 years old, when my dad threw me out there with a fucking scrub brush and a bucket and made me clean golf clubs. Man, I wish I could have taken Lightning for that, but it didn't exist. But I've watched, and as I got into my teens and I started, and credit cards, like in the 80s, credit cards kind of blew up, and going into the early 90s when I was going into high school and I was doing what would now be considered side hustles, then it was just working. you'd look into like a merchant account, like so. Then it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous to have a merchant account. And then it kind of transgressed into the PayPals of the world and the Squares and all of that. It was a long, slow development. And now here comes Bitcoin and Lightning, and man,
it changes the game altogether.
Yeah. So as a consumer of content, which we both are, if you wanted to support a creator right now, what would you say?
I would follow that. Just
itty-bitty.tips.
Right. Yeah. Because I can just it works well with Alby. It's easy. I can go there. I can put a note in there and send a message. But right up there is going to be like sending a boost on Fountain.
Yep.
It's super easy. It's the same thing, it's on the Lightning Network, and I'm directly giving them positive feedback on their content. And Correct. Hey, I was watching, I have not got to catch up on the whole thing, but I was watching the live today with Tim and Nicole and John from SEO.
I watched the whole thing. It was fantastic.
Oh, man. I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
You got to go back and watch the whole thing. It was
I didn't
great.
catch it live. I caught like the first like 20 minutes before I really got into like doing my shit here. But even Nicole talking about it. Hey, look, how valuable is it as a content creator to go back and see what people were tipping about?
Yep.
Why they were like, hey, they were expressing about a specific point of, and you can even see, like, if you go back in a podcast and you watch, you can see how long someone listened until like maybe somebody kind of died off. You can see where you can lose somebody in that. So it makes the content creation better because it's active feedback that you don't get otherwise. And it's meaningful feedback because somebody literally paid you to give you that. So
right.
They care about your content.
Now here's a end around, and it's both for the creator, the content consumer, the creator, and it also turns the consumer into a creator. With Fountain is the tip feature, or the clip feature, not tip feature, clip feature. So if you listen to my podcast and you stream me Satoshis, or you boost me Satoshis, or you don't do either, but you like something you heard in my podcast, you can click a button. And either I think I run the premium one because it's easier for me as a creator to make my own clips, but I don't know the non-premium function, how to make those clips, but I think it's pretty easy. It's easier with the transcript, I'll tell you that. So for $4 a month or whatever, I think that's definitely worth it. But at that point, you can go and make a clip. So I can go to Josh's podcast and I'm listening to it, and I don't want to stream him sats because I don't have a whole lot in my wallet or whatever reason. It's a long podcast and I don't want to do per minute. I don't want to send a flat boost, but I heard something really cool. He said something about, flying spider monkeys and how you process them and get chicken wings out of them.
Yeah.
So I clipped that and I posted up on Fountain. Now, that helps the content creator because now people have the ability to listen to that short clip. So you've become a content creator by providing that content, that shorter version for someone to listen to. People will listen to that clip if they like that. You're now earning Satoshis for my content that I put out, but you're promoting it and you're getting compensated for that every time somebody likes it. And now I'm getting more views. I'm getting people checking out my podcast because you made a good clip of it. So I think as a consumer, you're doing the content creator maybe even a greater service than just streaming or tipping, boosting, whatever, by making clips.
Exposing that content to new eyes that have never seen it before, who are going to bring their own value to it if they find value in there. That's how things grow.
Correct.
And when you're in the content creation thing, if you're not growing, you're not making any money, you're not doing anything, you're not reaching. You always have to continue to grow.
Right.
If you ever stop growing, you're done. Pretty much. It's the name of the game.
If you're not growing, you're going backwards, even if you're staying the same. So
exactly.
But and then that opens up an avenue for the consumers to earn off of their I guess effort, their 10 minutes that they took to make 5 clips today. Now they're out there forever. And anybody that listens to those hits that heart button, they get shot some Satoshis. Well, I mean, that's a win, 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 win all across the board. So
exactly.
you're not losing. You're not just randomly sending sats because, I mean, I hope you do that too, or send boosts, but you literally don't have to spend a penny to earn Lightning and help that creator. So I think that's fantastic. That's a fantastic thing about Fountain. So I would have to say Fountain's probably my favorite and most easy and streamlined way to participate with Lightning as a consumer of content.
Absolutely. And I mean, a few other things coming along, but nothing's quite been as like dedicated and polished as Lightning for like a content creator to the consumer type thing. There's some other little projects going on out there, and they're cool to watch. But, you know, that's how it's always going to be. Like there's a browser coming out. There's like an Instagram clone where you can buy stuff like that. There's one where you can actually download videos like that are posted for a specific amount. You can post a video and basically sell it for sats.
So the end around on the YouTube not allowing people to download even their own videos.
Right, exactly.
That's my favorite. I upload a video to YouTube, and then I happen to be somewhere where I don't have my external hard drive and have that video content. And I'm like, hey, I really want to grab a clip of this and throw it on TikTok. Here, let me go download it. And I got to jump through 18 hoops and use
and they always try to like close those avenues, but somebody like gets a few steps ahead of them.
It's great. You Google YouTube video downloader, and it's yesterday it was 14 different companies that had all been shut down, and they're fucking right back up the next day.
It doesn't matter how hard you try. The thing is, if you stream a video to someone online, you have sent that file to their device, and there's a way to download it. No matter how many hoops you jump through, you can make it hard and change it up, but someone's going to find a way. It's just how it is. Yeah. So if you're in that situation, then why not make it easy for them and monetize it? Just say, hey, look, if you want to pay a few sats, you can watch the video and not have to jump through hoops and figure out a way to fucking download it. You know?
Right. And I think it's more YouTube. Like, people can download my shit all they want. I hope they do. Share it with a million people. But it's YouTube thinks that they do. I think when we sign up, we say that they own it once we upload it. So whatever.
Pretty much, you know. Which is why
YouTube. There is a way to use Lightning with YouTube.
There is.
And I've started doing that. Josh was kind enough to show me how to get set up with Alby and get my Lightning address. And the simple way to do anything, I guess you said there's a list and it's ever growing of sites that will actually function with, like Twitter, YouTube, the places that we're trying to escape that monetization cut.
Yep.
You can put the Lightning emoji with your Alby address. So mine is lots@getalby.com, I believe. I think it's .com. And if you put that in your show notes, in your profile or whatever, when someone that's using the Alby extension in their browser opens that page, the Alby thing changes color sometimes. I mean, if you're on YouTube and it doesn't change color, if you click on it, sometimes you got to wake it up. It's what we figured out. I think it sleeps or something, and you have to click on it.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're logged into the extension for it to actually do the stuff.
Well, when you hit that, if it changes color, if it doesn't, but if that is there and you hit that Alby, it drops down out of the top of the browser and it literally says, tip the Lots Project or tip Renegade Butcher. Like, it is direct and it has nothing to do with YouTube. All it is my address is there and Alby says, hey, we know where this guy is. You want to send him some stats? You hit how many you want to send out of your Alby wallet. Boom. Good. You can send a message and it's fantastic.
There's no middleman. It just goes directly to, say, Brian's wallet on Alby's node, and he has full access to that to move it wherever he wants to. You know,
mine directly.
The only thing that would be, if it's from like one node to another, there may be a network fee, but on Lightning right now, they're so ridiculously small. I've never even really noticed.
I've never seen it be at least a cent, so I've never actually given a shit.
Exactly. Like, I have literally sent like $50, $60. I sent $100 on Lightning at one point, and there was no network fee. I'm like, How low are the fucking fees? Holy shit.
Yeah, I rolled it was several $100s to someone in Lightning and nothing.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, I think but Bitcoin's price fluctuated more in the time that they opened their wallet, and it probably changed more just from the fluctuation in Bitcoin price than it did any transaction fees. So.
Absolutely. Oh man. So like I've been doing the deer processing thing lately. So I'm taking traditional credit card type stuff through Square, and I see I can see the cut that it takes on every transaction. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, gosh, dang, I mean, it's just north of 3%. And if they do an ACH transfer, it's like down to like 1%. They're really pushing that. Like, do ACH transfer. I'm like, ooh, 1%. I can send $100 across the fucking nation for absolutely nothing, and you're trying to bribe me with 1%.
Yep. Well, they know they're in a losing game right now.
All right, exactly. That's where they're at.
Watch these processing fees go down as Lightning becomes more adopted. As
I'm hoping to see
starts running.
Well, what I'm hoping to see happen, because Square processing, it's owned by Block. It was originally Square Up. It's the same company as Cash App. This is just the commercial side of Cash App. So what I'm hoping to see happen more is they sort of pivot and start working that in, like Lightning as an acceptable option on their payment processing along with other things, and giving some bonuses for that. Because, I mean, they're already pretty well adopting Lightning from the Cash App side. I'd like to see on the commercial side. You can Cash App
on the commercial side. Are they still going to try to rake a vig out of that when you're even?
I'm sure they'll probably try to find a way to do it, and most of them probably will. But you know what? I would rather take a 1% fee on Bitcoin than a 3% fee on credit cards.
Well, yeah. I mean, tomorrow it could be up 3%, and
exactly.
I mean, it could also be down 20.
Right. And there's nothing stopping me from running my own private cryptocurrency transactions too. If somebody wants to make it easy and their convenience because it's part of an integrated app, small and it's worth it to me, that's one thing. But I don't know. I hope to see more of that in the future, and I think we will as everybody starts to adopt this. Because I think most of the people who are running these companies are not financially stupid.
Right.
And they're going to begin to start working this way. They just kind of want to make sure that shift is heading that direction before they put much into it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're holding out for the national digital currency.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna hope
to go for the whole centralized. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you run a major payment processor, integrating a whole new currency into it probably is a programming nightmare, and there's a significant financial investment into making that happen. So they want to make sure they're betting on the right horse, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I think Nicole mentioned on that live today that she's digging into possibly opening her own node, running her own node, possibly remotely renting some service or running space on another node. But for her Halaros payment processing. So I'm interested. I'm hoping she goes in on that and gets it all figured out for everybody else.
Right. I played a little bit with some of the Lightning nodes that are out there. I haven't done a ton with it, and I want to pay $12 a month just for whatever, if I'm not really processing much with it. Right. But I have fiddled enough to try to help me understand how the shit actually works. I'm not by any means an expert. Oh my God. We did kind of have one random question on Telegram, and I wish I had a better answer than the discussion sort of turned up.
I was reading that. I'm like,
and look, that was some deep shit too. I'm like, wow, this is out there. But basically was being asked, how many users can the Lightning Network support? And I don't know, the deeper I dug into the question, the more questions I had. So it's sort of one of those, I don't know, but how do you define it? How many people can have a actual Lightning address? I mean, I think that number is way higher than anybody wants to calculate. How many people can transact at the same time? That's a different story. Those things can be calculated, and that's expanded. I think we have to I might be wrong on this. It was a 5. I want to say it's 5 million freaking Bitcoin or 5 million worth of Bitcoin or some shit like that is where the Lightning Network has expanded its capacity to be able to handle. recently, within the last few months. So that technology is continuing to evolve. So
well, I can't.
I think the technology is evolving faster than it's honestly being adopted.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was like. I can't envision a layer being developed that doesn't have the end goal of being completely adoptable, like no limiting amount of
right. Why? It's going to expand with the network as more people adopt and more nodes. When we reach that crunch zone where it's like there's a problem here, well, we reached that with Bitcoin too. You know, it started out, Bitcoin was like super quick and easy and cheap, and people were just sending these Satoshis around back and forth. Hell, they were saying Bitcoins around like they were Satoshis back in the day. And it's easy because there was no congestion on the network. It got adopted to the point where suddenly now it's kind of slow and clunky to use because there's so much going on. So you can't tell me that with Lightning coming in and filling in that gap and making things easier, if we ever reach the point where so much is going on the Lightning network that the network itself can't keep up, then we won't have answered the questions that problem presented by that point.
The answers will be there before the questions present themselves.
Exactly. Everybody's doing the best. There are so many people so motivated to come in here and do the best that they can on this network to make it work. Really talented programmers. In fact, like answering some of this stuff even before the show in the Telegram group, Boomy that came in there, he's one of the main developers over there at Alby, and he helped me out a lot getting some of the stuff going on that helped make the Itty Bitty Tips thing work.
Nice.
So
nice.
He's super sweet, super cool, guys. Just he's got it going on. Like I was like, man, I'm having this problem with such and such. I mean, I know it has nothing to do with y'all, but what would you do? And he's like, hold on, let me write up a JavaScript code for you. I'm like, the fuck just happened? You know, he's on top of his shit, and they have a really active Telegram group too. So if you're following anything with this type of stuff and you're interested in it, you want to know more of the nuts and bolts, join their group over on Telegram too. And they're super on top of it. If you have a problem with the Alby extension, they'll like jump in and fix it and push you an update right away. So those guys do an excellent job with all their customer service type stuff, and you can learn a ton just like listening to their chatter through that group.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's, learning through just being exposed to people talking about things is one of my favorites.
Oh man, yeah. No,
I can be a fly on the wall and just listen to them, and they ask all the questions, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to sound like a moron. Then somebody throws out the question. I'm like, I guess I wasn't that stupid.
That group, there's one for LN Bits, and there's one for Blue Wallet, and there's one for Blix Wallet too. But all those, I'm in those, and they're all pretty heavy, like on the tech side of a Lightning thing. I don't understand half of what's said, but I learn so much every day when I just open my messages and scroll through it. I'm like,
well,
I get ideas for
shit.
I never thought, you know.
We're kind of here to bridge that gap. We're not here. I'm not here doing this show for the guys in the Alby Telegram group. I mean,
no, exactly.
They could look at me and go, "You're an idiot." But someone that's never even bought Bitcoin, that wants somebody that, I mean, up until a few years ago had never bought Bitcoin either, and is in a little intermediate stage and doesn't have that tech speak and can talk to you, explain it in a layman's level. That's kind of why we're here. So it's bridging the gap. So I got to dip my toes into this uncomfortable waters to be able to let people dip their toes into uncomfortable waters.
Man, I'm hoping to get one of those Alby guys on the show here sometime. That'd be a good interview.
Yeah,
those guys are really, and you know, they've got a great customer service department. They've got like a lady that all she does is like their customer service side, put out YouTube videos and try like sort of like kind of what we're doing. Check out their blog because it's tried to be made consumer friendly. They want people to come use that stuff. They're trying to make it easy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like,
oh, so they kind of went down the road of like the dash school. Where they're just making it as stupid simple as they can for laymen so that they can come in and understand and use it without a deep understanding of what's actually going on. And that's really what people have to get comfortable with is you don't need to know the ones and zeros and the coding and all that. You don't need to know that to use Bitcoin like any of it. But especially Lightning, the way it is developing so fast is you're not even going to know you're probably using it and you don't even know you're using it anyway.
Exactly. And honestly, the Lightning transactions that I make are some of the easiest fucking financial transactions I've ever made in my entire life. It's easier than a check. It's faster than sitting there and handing somebody cash and having to count back change. Yep. It's more secure than any of that. It's easier than putting in my fucking credit card information.
Oh, man, once you set up, I mean, getting people onboarded on the spot takes a little jumping through hoops if they're not into crypto. Now, John was saying today, on that app, on that live stream, was saying that Jack actually paid John's wife for something with Lightning, and he's like, "Oh, did you have it set up?" And she's like, "No." He showed me how to do it in like 5 minutes, and there were like 20 people standing around, and he taught them all in 5 minutes how to do it. But she was also set up on Exodus with Bitcoin, and it went
super easy. Yeah.
So if you have gotten into cryptocurrency and you have an app that you have all your KYC and all that done, man, it's just stupid simple and
Lightning enabled. It's easy. Yeah. So if you have, Exodus,
buying a pork sandwich for lunch at SRF. From Andy was basically, hey dude, Lightning cool, and he's like, yeah, here's a QR, boom, done. Like literally was paid. He couldn't have opened a cash register faster to give me change, let alone type in the amount and do all the bullshit. It was basically like QR code, done.
No, at Float Fest, Jack paid me for a barbecue sandwich, and he's like, I want to do Lightning. I'm like, all right, let's do it. I pull up my fucking QR, he scans that shit. Literally, we're getting notifications at the same time that the transaction went through.
That's my favorite, is when I'm in my I'll be sending funds from Wallet of Satoshi to Telegram, which we should touch on here before we wrap up. But Telegram's another way for consumers to help. But I'm sending funds from my Wallet of Satoshi to my Lightning tip bot to spread them around in the community. And I'll hit send, and it'll go sending, it'll turn green, and it'll like flash. And as it's flashing, telling me that it went through, the notification on Telegram's popping up that I just received. And I'm like, this hasn't even finished running the cycle on the app to send it. And it's already
like the app hasn't updated already, and it's already there. It's like faster than, and see, that's the thing. That means it's happening faster than the processes on your phone can keep up with. And it is literally sending that data to a Lightning node somewhere else that is communicating over the Lightning network to another node somewhere else that's communicating back to another app on your phone.
Right. It's not like in my phone. It's not like transferring stuff app to app in my phone. It's going bam and shooting back.
This is happening over the broader Lightning network, and it's still so fast you can't perceive a difference in the speed on your phone. It's insane. It blows my mind how fast this shit is.
So that other way that I really think that content consumers can really provide value to the creators that they want to support is also on Lightning or on Telegram with the Lightning tip bot. Most creators that are in our networks, at least, and we try to spread it to anybody we can, have the Lightning tip bot installed in their groups, in their chats, and stuff like that. To find out if it's there, go into their group and just hit /. And if a menu pops up and it says a bunch of different commands you can use, they have it installed. If you don't have your Lightning wallet, go into any group. Come into my group, join my group, and tell me you want to get a Lightning wallet, and I will send it. And it'll just set it up automatically.
Literally just look up Lightning tip bot, one word, on Telegram, and just as soon as you chat with that bot, you get up with a wallet.
Yep.
Any group you go to that has that, I mean, you're ready to go. You don't have to do anything fancy, and you can transfer to and from there to other Lightning wallets. You can send it to your Exodus wallet, move it to Bitcoin, whatever. You can take it, hodl it, whatever you want to do. It's easy to do, but it's a good way to like you said, interact not just with creators and their channels or whatnot, other people. You can just send a tip to a random person when they say something cool.
Right.
I should say, though, there are similar bots. I don't fuck with them much because I'm not a big fan of it. I used with it. I don't much anymore. But Discord has some Telegram, not Telegram, Discord Lightning tip bots as well. that are pretty much.
I use Discord for one thing.
I don't like Discord that much. I really don't. I haven't fucked with it in a while.
All I use it for is for Tricky's AI art generator.
He has a Telegram group, so I don't even bother.
But can you use the AI in the Telegram group?
No, I just tell him and he does it for me.
Do you tip him?
Yeah, tip him. I haven't done it a ton, so yeah. I don't fuck with it that much, but yeah.
Oh,
why not?
That's fantastic.
Hey, well, it's cool.
I don't want to go to Discord.
He was right next to me. He was right next to me at Float Fest. Like, he was the vendor right next to the whole fucking event. We were hanging out, you know. And I made sure he stayed fucking fed. And I was like,
then I guess you pre-tipped him for a few art generations.
He's cool as shit. So
his stuff his AI thing is fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Show art and mess around with it. I'm trying to dial it in and figure it out and get what I want out of it. Right. I don't know if that's the point, but like, I'm trying to manipulate the AI to give me what I want.
Oh, did you ever see those ones? I think I was posting them in Scramblin's channel. He was trying to figure out like the coffee blend, and it was like all these crazy like fingerless chicks and stuff. Yeah, it was, like, what is this thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
So how have you? Is there any other way that you've sent a creator Lightning? I'm trying to think. I think those three methods right there. You can pretty much anybody that's actually accepting Lightning, if they don't have four, I guess the itty bitty.tips link works anywhere. Anywhere.
That works pretty much anywhere. Yeah.
And then how about QRs? Like, if you see a QR on a creator, if you see a QR code on a creator's screen, scan that shit and see what happens. Yeah. You're not going to get a virus. You're going to get a warning before you download anything. Scan it. See what it says.
All it's going to do is pull up a web address and say, do you want to go here? So it's no different than seeing a link that shows up in your email. You have the choice to click it. Look at the banner here for Lightning for Liberty on the YouTube channel, and there's a QR right there. You can do that. You can scan that, and all it's going to do is give an address. If you have a Lightning wallet on your phone, it's going to say, hey, do you want to send these guys some Satoshis?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Stop being afraid of QR codes, because they're everywhere and they're starting to be used left and right. Yeah. Not just for Lightning, but man, I've been using them forever. And people were like, "What the hell are you talking about QR code?" I'm like, "You realize that all the stuff that the maintenance stuff, all the parts and stuff I was working on, all had a QR code on like the manufacturer tag that I could scan, and it would bring the fucking manual up on my phone."
It's the handiest thing ever, too. You know, that they have that information just stored there. You know,
so do yourself a favor.
Link. It's just with an image.
Yeah, with most phones made in the last year or two, your camera will automatically pick it up, so you don't even need to download a QR scanner. You can just aim your camera at it, and most likely, unless you got a flip phone, you're probably gonna.
If it doesn't, you can literally just take a picture of that in like a Google search app,
right?
And like post that to Google, and it will decode the QR and give you that results from that.
But I just used what is this? iPhone 6 maybe that I have an older
iPhone. Yeah,
I got some wallets on there. Maybe. Mm-hmm. I picked that up, and I went to scan for my Wi-Fi connection, and even that one, the camera automatically picked up the QR. So yeah.
I mean, they have for a good long while.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try. That's a fun way to do it. And going down that QR rabbit hole is kind of what brought us to the figuring out the tipping links thing, because it was an easier thing. It's the same tech, it's just a different format. And then that's what led me down the 2-month rabbit hole of figuring out the itty bitty tips thing that I did, just because I was like, I feel like there's a problem here and this should be easier. So, but yeah, and the funny thing is too, like, since I've done that, the guys over at Albany have set up a thing. I don't know exactly where to find it. I think you find it in your profile. I saw a guy shared it the other day, like he was having problems with it, and they were figuring it out, but it all looks pretty slick. Basically, every profile, if you have an Albany wallet, you have like a profile link you can post up there that you can just share with people, and they can tip you to your Albany wallet there. I'm like, well, hey, that's pretty cool to have that integrated. And I think you're going to add easy to access LN URLs too. There's a way to find them, but you have to jump through hoops. So yeah, there's all these things. The longer that this goes on, the easier it becomes for everybody, the consumers, the creators. We start to all kind of, as we work together here, you'll see people say, hey, look, I had a problem tipping you. How do I do this? People kind of work the kinks out and figure the bugs out. And as we share those with the guys who are doing the development, that's kind of where this all comes. So if you run into a snag somewhere, you have a hard time tipping a creator, don't be afraid to reach out and say, hey, look, I wanted to share some value with you, but I had a problem here. Let them know. And I'm sure they will be more than happy to help you work that out. And they'd love to know if what they're doing isn't working.
Well, right. And they'll probably tip
some
you
of
back.
it's still growing and changing. So if you run across something on mine or Brian's or anybody's profile that you go, look, it didn't work for me, please let us know, because we may not know that it's a problem, or it may only be a problem for some devices or users.
Correct. Yeah, that was a lot of the troubleshooting we did with you with the itty bitty tips. Was it was trying to figure out if it worked on Apple, Android, on desktop, on mobile, and you need all
what situations is my safe search on Brave or something turned on. All these things can be factors, and you may not know that half the people saying to you can't see your shit if nobody tells you.
Right. Yep. So I don't know. I got, I just realized if people don't know how, like, if they're going Lightning, yeah, but I need Bitcoin. I've never bought cryptocurrency. I'm going to help you out here pretty quick because
you're working on your PDF thing, right? You're working.
Yeah, man, I worked on it all day. Like I'm through maybe half of it. It's gonna be a document for sure.
Pretty good little exhaustive walkthrough there. That's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be basically, if you pick up this PDF and you've never bought Bitcoin, you're gonna have three options. You can either use Strike, Cash App, or Coinbase, and it will give you step by step how to sign up for the app, to download it, what you're gonna need to do to sign up for it, and then how to it walks you through literally buying it. And then once you have it, setting up an Exodus wallet and then sending it from whichever service you choose to use to Exodus. And it's going to be literally bullet points, follow this procedure, and this is what you need to do.
Lots of hand holding, super easy. You can do this. Yeah.
And an email at the bottom that says, if you have questions, send them to me, and I'm more than happy to help.
Yep, exactly. So,
but I'm guessing hopefully by the end of the week, I got a bunch of irons in the fire. So my brains kind of fries out after. It's amazing how tiring going back and learning it all again is, because you're trying to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and get rid of the knowledge you have.
Because, and everything has changed so much from when you onboarded.
Dude, my first PDF, the PDF, why I had to redo it was my PDF that I have right now uses Coinbase and Jax.
Right. Exactly.
Two things I would never use.
Look at it. Oh my God. When I was really going at it, I was using Mycelium mostly, and they're still around.
That's good for you.
Around, but goddamn, I started going back into some of my old Bitcoin stuff a while back, and I'm like, this is so dated. Like, none of this makes sense now.
Well, yeah, this that I was talking about, the old phone that may or may not have some wallets on it. Yeah, there's a Jax wallet on there. I tried to open it and made me update it twice before I could open it.
Damn. Yeah. I think crypto.com was where I did the majority of my shit for a while.
Crypto.com.
Shit. But hey, we're about to roll over to the after party. It's going to be my back-to-back day. This is my second of 3 podcasts that I'm doing all in a row here. So that's why we were a little late starting this up. And I'd say, hey, if you want to learn more about this stuff, go to Lightning for Liberty. Go to lightning4liberty.com, and it just takes you to the Telegram group. So you can hang out there. There's a shitload of people there who are probably smarter than us on the Lightning front. And pretty much if you got a question on Lightning, somebody there's probably going to know it, or they know who the fuck knows it. Or they're in direct contact with people who are programming the Lightning.
Yeah, so, my MO is not to be the top 5 smartest person in the room.
Oh, hell no. I don't want to
be the smartest person. I don't want to be the top 5.
Yeah, exactly. I want to kind of try to make it make sense to the normal person if I can.
I'm in the wrong room if I'm the smartest guy, because all I want to do is learn. And
very true, very fucking true. And we are always learning so much about all this fun stuff. So, but I don't know. Like I said, check out the itty bitty tips thing if you're curious on a way to make it easier to either tip other people or share stuff. If you've got stuff like you're on Instagram or something, you're just sharing stuff from your fucking farm or your life, and you want people to be able to send you a tip, it's a good way to do one link. Brian's been pushing that premium version a little bit. I did one up for him. That's kind of cool. We had one other guy jump in and took care of that too. Limited Supply Designs has one too, so you can check them out. Yeah, I'll put a little plug out. Go to lsd.ittybitty.tips. It's limited supply design. They've got a cool setup too. All their links right there. So
it's basically it's a renegade version of Linktree, and it's fantastic because it's
like Linktree, but you can get tipping, and you've got your podcast on there. If you are an Amazon affiliate, you can have your linked ads and stuff like that. So it's a little page that's mobile friendly, but you can have all your shit there. When you can only post one link, like Instagram or TikTok, there you go.
Yep, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. I'm super impressed, and I'm more than happy to share it. So definitely check out ittybitty.tips. And,
well, and hey, Brian over here is coming up on. He's pushing real hard to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So you should check out Lots Project. But when he does, he's part of the giveaway. He's got some shit to give away, and all these other creators who are friends with him have jumped in and said, "Hey, when you reach 1,000, we want to give something too." And it's just been this like huge pile. Well, what I'm throwing at him is one of those premium links too. So if you want one of those, go help Brian get up to 1,000 and get in on his drawing. Follow him, join his Telegram type stuff, join the Liberty Meat Chat over there, get in with us guys, and be a part of that community. They're really cool communities. You can learn a lot of shit about a bunch of different things, and you might be able to get one of those if you want to pay like $20 for it. So.
Yeah, and you could get some silver. You could win some silver. What else?
There's a lot of stuff, like a fire poker, like a hand forged fucking fire poker,
tabs and rabbit foot keychains, and
a year subscription to the Patch of the Month Club from the Cool Man. Yeah, it's a shitload of stuff, dude. Comfrey set.
That's great. You know? I'm thinking Scrambling's coming with something from Food Forest Farms or cannabinoid.
You could probably walk away from this sort of a thing like you just went to a giant fucking Freedom Fest and got a bunch of cool shit from a bunch of cool people. Like that's what it's shaping up to be. Like,
and it started as a joke.
I probably brought that shit home.
We weren't even at 800 subscribers, and I started talking about 1,000 because you know it's coming up, and you know it might accelerate as it gets closer to 1,000. And I just joked. I made a joke and said, "Hey, you know we were planning on giving away like silver.
Wants to throw anything else in, some
merch." And I was like, "Yeah, if anybody really wants to throw something in," and it was like, boom. You guys, I mean, like, just blow my mind. I'm so appreciative.
Crazy.
Of all of it.
It's crazy.
So.
Oh, that's what those communities are like, though. So if you're not a part of those, get over on Telegram, join in with us. If you don't see it, join Lightning for Liberty, ask one of us. We'll get you in these places. It's a cool group of people who just kind of have each other's backs on shit. So I think we should wrap it up. We were about to jump over to the after party. We got 3 minutes till that goes live. I'm going to try to upload the audio side of this.
All right, man.
You guys got any lightning questions or anything like that you just kind of want to hear about on the show? Let us know, and we'll be sure to talk about it. So y'all have a good one, and